Welcome to the DIY3DTech.com channel.
Welcome to this edition of DIY3DTech.com. In this episode, what we're going to be doing is showing how to use the slanted board method in finding the focus of a laser. So basically, we've got the laser set up. I've got a piece of 3mm, about foot long piece of plywood in here, so your typical laser fodder. And basically, I've just got it set to the edge. So basically, what it'll do is run out the corner. We're going to cut a line on this corner, and we're going to see where it comes to focus. Now, what we've done is this sits at a bit of an angle, so this actually rises up off the bed by about 10mm. What I did is I used two of these blue pylons, which I've shown in another episode I made for holding stuff up off the bed at different lengths, and it's 1 centimeter tall. Or let me double check this. I might be lying. So this is so I am lying. This is 2.54 because this is 1 inch tall. So I did lie a little bit there. I did these in English. So anyway, so I've got a run of about 1 inch. So what we're going to do is I've got a line set up in laser draw over on the computer on the side. I've got the power set on this one to 70%, and I'm going to have it do an engrave. So I'm going to set up the job right now. So I'm going to add task in laser draw. So task is added, and yeah, let me re-add it. Pellets and tasks. Okay, we just engrave. Oh, I've got it set for 3. That's why. So I just want to set it for 1. So I'm going to add task. So we got the task queued up in here, and so I'm going to leave the cover open for this because there won't be too much. It'll be a pretty quick, and then let's see what we come out with. So I'm not going to watch this as it cuts. So I'll let you guys watch it. So let's see. Here goes. Okay, there we go. So actually pretty darn interesting. I'm not sure if you can see that burn line, but it appears about here is where we got the best, and actually, interestingly, so it got a little bit thicker, so the focus on this is not too far off. I'm going to try increasing the power, and let's see if we can get a little bit different. I'm going to re-engrave this, and try to set this up for another run. And let's make a run. So I increased that to 90 so we could see it a little bit better. And this is really actually very interesting. So right about here, and I'm going to see if I can't zoom in. You can probably see the lines in here now since I zoomed in. So you can see how it's much darker, gets very much lighter, and then gets much darker as it runs up. Then it gets lighter as the top, which is really interesting. However, right about here is the sweet spot of the laser. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push his beam back. I'm going to also turn off the laser. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my gauge, and just seeing how this comes out. That hose is sort of in the way. I don't want to push this up too far and forget it and cut it in half with the laser. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scale, as you see here, and then push down and mark the height. So right there, so about 2664 or 1330 seconds above the bed seems to be the optimal, the focal height for this. However, if you can see that, I mean, it's the actual, I wish I could get this damn hose out of the way. Okay, so I got the hose out of the way a little bit, maybe you can see it. So I'm not sure how much of this you can see, but from right about in here, and I'll see if I can maybe mark it on the video in post. So right here, so it starts out down at the front pretty wide. In retrospect, gets very, very thin here, and then widens out as it goes up. However, it's got a gap, it's got a section that's probably about 3 inches where the focus is very, very tight, and it's a repeated focus. And that is a knife edge cut, my friends. This is a whole lot better cut now. Remember, I've got the light objects lens in here, or yeah, I got the new light objects 18mm lens at a 2.5. Now I'm gonna, since I know how high this is, I'm gonna do some checking off camera and measure up and see where the focal point is on this. But anyways, this is a good test to actually get a real world example of where your laser focus is. So again, I'm just going to kind of recap. Is we basically take a board, small piece of board wood, to mark. We run the laser across it, just a straight line. Raise it up so it's sitting on the bed here, and it's elevated from the bed here, so it runs at an angle. And then just run your laser out, and so you can see it's out of focus here, comes into focus, goes back out of focus. And then so this area where it's in focus is really the sweet spot. So I've measured the sweet spot, but what I'm going to also do is I'm going to measure the start of the sweet spot and the top of the sweet spot, as well as the center of the sweet spot, to kind of, and then record these, and then that way when I'm setting up my material, I can set up my material, and especially I can use this now as a gauge for when I put the material on, to again say, all right, this is too high, this is too low, and use this to build it up. Now what I've been doing, another little trick, is I've been cutting out some of these smaller pieces of acrylic to sit underneath the pieces on the bed to raise it up a little bit. So what I do is I just basically stack a couple pieces, and I've got a couple different thicknesses, and again I've just cut these out of scrap pieces. These aren't great pieces. You just cut them out of scrap and then use them underneath there as shims to shim it up and down, and that's been working actually pretty great for me. So again, hopefully this video helped you, show you how to use the slant board technique to find the focus of your laser. If it did, hey, give it a thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. That thumbs up helps us make more of these videos, and look for more to come. Cheers.